MakeupClasses.com. Hey guys over at Facebook, good morning. Welcome. It's Dawn with MakeupClasses.com. This is Finding Beauty. Welcome to my morning show. I hope you guys have been really enjoying. I've been getting a lot of great feedback. Thank you so much for all the nice compliments on the photos and the videos. It really encourages me to do more. And just knowing that you're having fun with this means so much to me. It really, truly does. So thank you. So welcome. If this is your first time here, I've been doing a series on beauty, fashion of the decades, makeup, hair, and clothing, and also a little bit of some American history, which, as I was saying yesterday and throughout the series, that what happens in the world, right? What happens in the macro all around us really affects us in the micro, and it affects our psyche and how we portray ourselves, how we feel about ourselves, and what is emulated out in the world. All right, so here we go, guys. It's the new millennium. We have waited for this. Wow. Turn of the century. Can you believe it? We made it. Who do we have? We have George W. Bush, and we have Barack Obama. Major shift in politics, our first Black African-American president. So that was such a huge accomplishment. Back in the 90s, we have the birth of the internet. And of course, it hasn't stopped. So the World Wide Web was introduced to the general public, and it has taken off, and it's still taking off. It's still in development, right? Something new every day on the internet. So we have a lot of video games, a lot of new types of TV programming. We have become, in the new millennium, we have become celebrity obsessed. Our economy is still doing really good. It is riding that wave from the 80s into the 90s and now into the 2000s. But the only problem is a lot of economists who have warned us and were analyzing what was going on in America and also throughout the world, they were getting ready for this bubble that they call to burst, which we do see happen in 2007, 2008, with the fall of our banking system, our mortgage system, and our loan and credit system. So we have this enormous financial bubble going on. Things are going great. In our minds, we are comfortable. We are interested in worldly things. Now that we have the internet starting in the 1990s, we're very curious about different cultures and different people. So we see that in our fashion of the 90s, a lot of cross-cultural themes in our clothing and in our hair. We have more internet, so we have more awareness, and we're spending money at a crazy rate. We have lots of credit cards. So it's kind of like this duality in our mind, right? We still have that me culture embedded in us from the 1970s, the 80s. We become uber consumers. Consumerists. I don't think that's a word. We become uber consumers that bleeds into the 90s and now into the new millennium. But we are very curious about other people. So it's like we are focused on ourselves, but now we are really starting to care more about others because of the internet. We also have social media, Facebook, MySpace. Remember MySpace? All these message boards and social boards. So we're at home and we're still focused on me, and we're still worried about, the shell, what we look like on the outside, because we're buying more, but we're on our computers and we're very curious about other people. This was the birth of the reality show. Remember those reality shows? So we were finding that we were still obsessed with celebrities. We were really interested what celebrities were doing with their money. We were also very interested in the created celebrity, Paris Hilton, Nicole Richie, very wealthy people that were creating their celebrity just from the amount of money they had. So again, uber consumerism, lots of focus on wealth and high finance, right? We had The Apprentice. We were consumed with what other people were doing. And then we would retract that, circle it back to us and look at us. And this was the birth of the disease of comparison. We really start comparing ourselves to what other people are doing, looking at what we have and what we don't have, and start our self-worth really starts to plummet. And that, I think it's synonymous with what is going on economically and in world affairs, that there were a lot of bubbles, a lot of overspending, and now there is some type of contraction where we have to, take a step back. And I think that's what the 2000s, the new millennium has taught us. We also had a horrific tragedy here on American soil, the World Trade Center bombings. That also started us to think about what was important to us. And also, the symbolism of the World Trade Centers coming down, those buildings coming down, thinking to ourselves, you know what? The money, the finance, whatever that stood for, that symbol in our mind was starting to make us think as well about consumerism. I think a little bit. The internet really started changing our minds, changing our way of thinking. All right, so fashion. What are some other things going on? Media, all right, we have a lot of cable, a lot of news in the cable industry. Radio is declining. We're not we're not listening to as much radio. Print is also starting to take a nosedive as well. Why buy a beauty magazine, girls, when you could find it all on the internet, right? Why read a news article in a paper when you can find it on the internet? So this whole digital age is improving our life. And in some respect, everything has a pro and con, right? Making us be aware of what's going on outside of our homes with other people. It's creating curiosity. So we are using our computers more than ever before, and we haven't stopped. I mean, this is it. We took off and we're not looking back. Okay, fashion. We have a comeback of the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. I did write some notes today. Although hair from the 1990s did carry over, you could see I have a very millennial look today, the half curl with the straight ends, but I'll get to hair in a second. Bell bottoms were bigger pants at the bottom, very fitted pants. We start to see that in the mid 2000s, very fitted track suits, low-rise jeans, skinny jeans, really tight jeans, asymmetrical, there we go, clothes. Everything's in the opposite with the cameras. Skinny jeans, geek chic was so in. Remember the big glasses? So you wanted to look really, really geeky. I mean, my husband was reminding me this morning, goes, remember when people just wore the frames and they didn't even have the lenses? And I said, yes, that's geek chic. Something that you and I both have down. I always tease them that we're such geeks. Anyway, yeah, so big glasses, choker necklaces were in. I still like those. Denim everything. I mean, I saw pictures of celebs with, the denim hat, the denim jumpsuit, denim everything, from denim pocketbooks from top to bottom. So denim was very much in. Okay, guys, any of you going to the mall in the 2000s, do you remember airbrush t-shirts? We saw a lot of those like stands and shops where you would purchase a t-shirt and they would airbrush like, I don't know, a symbol on there or a saying, that sort of thing. So a lot of fun with the clothing. Okay, so what was affecting our fashion? Well, obviously, our obsession with celebrities. We have hip hop and rap stars that we're looking at. The rap culture and the rap look was also taking off. It probably took off way before that. Hip hop clothes as well. That probably took off before that too. Subcultures within punk and rock and roll. We have something called emo, which is emotional expression. It's rock music with an emotional expression, so more poetic, really tells a story. Hey guys over at Instagram, welcome. Our celebrity obsession has peaked. We also see a lot of labels on clothing. We want to visibly see labels. We saw that in the 1980s, right? Because that portrayed that your status symbol. And we also see a lot of labels or their symbols or their actual name on clothing and throughout clothing. So like Coach scarves, we still see it today on bags. Like their symbols are all over their bags. Louis Vuitton, Gucci, all of their fashion symbols were written all over the clothing. It was very apparent that you had a very expensive piece. So in the 2000s, that's what we were going for. And I think that really came from obviously our celebrity obsession and also that reality show that we're watching as well. You know, what do they have? I want that. So that keeping up with the Joneses effect that started in the 1950s, we see in the new millennium. All right, with makeup, we see a lot of anti-aging products. We have different modalities. Spa services are really taking off. They have fabulous products and different tools. We also see the birth of the Medi-Spa. So we have Botox, different types of injectables that help with anti-aging. So the anti-aging movement moves even more. The needle moves another point over or several points. Remember, anti-aging and the fear of looking older, girls, starts way back in the 1930s, I believe. So we still have, it was either the 20s or 30s. It was really early. Look young. Fight that age. So we see that in a lot of Medi-Spas as well. You know what? I'll get to makeup in a second when I'm doing my makeup. I'll talk about it. So hair, a lot of things going on in the hair, which I find really interesting because the hair is kind of synonymous with our thought pattern. We're focused on ourselves and we're thinking about improving ourselves, but we're also we're comparing ourselves more to the outside world. We're looking towards celebrities and reality shows, and you know, we're obsessed with watching others. This voyeurism, right? So there's like conflict in our mind. There's conflict in the hair. Look at this. We have curly, then straight, right? We have curly and crimped. We see a lot of hairstyles where it's completely straight, but just a few strands have been picked through and we throw some curl in. Wavy hair that's been pinned back. Flipped ends, so straight and then flipped. We see a lot of clips. Remember the banana clip? A lot of clips, small clips that would just kind of like bunch our hair in the front like this. We saw a lot of that with the new millennium. Talk about conflict, the zigzag part, back and forth, back and forth. I'm consumed with others. No, I need to focus on myself. No, let me get on the internet and look at somebody else. Let me watch a reality show. Let me focus on me. Let me buy something that someone else has. that sort of thing. So we see, I don't know, I'm really into this, the studying of the psychology. So zigzag part was really in. Bangs that cover one eye. All right. One eye. How do I do this? One eye opens, one eye closed. We see a lot of that with our models and on the runway photo shoots. Again, that conflict, asymmetrical clothing, right? Am I wearing a short sleeve? No, I'm not. Curled at the root, straight on the end, choppy bangs, braiding at the scalp, a lot of braid, tight braid, and then natural hair flow. We have side ponytails with hats, a lot of scrunchy hats, but the hair would be pulled over, and then you would have a cute like beret or scrunchy hat, that sort of thing. Blonde on the top, and then dark underneath. A lot of brunette underneath, darker hair. A lot of people call that like a skunk look, the skunk hair. Again, conflicts, right? Who are you? Am I what I'm portraying myself on the internet, on all my social media? Or am I the real person that you see, the physical person? Interesting how hair and clothing are synonymous with what is going on in the world. We have this huge bubble. We're all happy with our finances, and boom, World Trade Center hits. Boom, we have this financial crash in the mid to late 2000s, and we have a huge, redo. We go into a recession. We start thinking about our money. We start to focus on retirement. Oh my gosh, is the stock market stable? Should I invest? Should I put my money under the mattress? We heard that again in the 2000s with the crash, like, oh, your money's not safe in a bank. Put it under your mattress, that sort of thing. So this external conflict and this internal conflict. Interesting. I just love all this stuff. I really am geek, right? Geek chic. It was in. Geek chic. Here we go. All right. So makeup. Well, we have, remember in the 90s, excuse me. In the 90s, we had lighter skin. We want our skin to match now. We really do. We want our foundation to look as natural as possible. But what's taking off is the glow, right? The J-Lo glow. We see her with that and we just love it. We love moisture skin, moisturizing. Again, Medi spas are really taking off. They're giving us great advice on skincare. And ladies, and men, we are following it. We are really interested in taking care of our skin and looking younger and looking better. Why? Because we're looking at celebrities and we're looking at the internet and we're comparing ourselves and we're saying, I want to look like her. So we're really conscious about our makeup and our hair and especially our skincare. So a lot of glow. I just put on a little bit of foundation. I'm going to use a shimmer powder and just create a beautiful glow on the cheekbones. A lot of glow. So I'll add some on my frontal bone, on my zygomatic, which is your cheekbone, and just give myself this nice glow. Okay, I'm also going to use a bronzer that has some shimmer. It's like a peachy shimmer. We love bronzer. Again, we're obsessed with the tan. We want that glow. We want that healthy look. We want to look like we live on the beach, right? We want to look like we have, this life of luxury that we're seeing on all these reality shows. So a lot of glow and tan and just really well blended. The skin in the new Millennium is dewy and just pretty and healthy and youthful. And that's what we're going for. So I just added some more shimmer with my bronzer. All right, brows are still skinny. Yay, because I I have a skinny brow, so I'm really happy about that. Of course, they're arched, and we do follow that 3-point brow system. There's more, because of the internet, there's more education on looks and products. And we have this boom of e-commerce. So you could order anything online at this point. So if you see a celebrity wearing XYZ, you can go ahead and order it right away. And we still have that today, obviously. Good morning. Welcome over on Instagram. Welcome, welcome. So skinny, skinny brows. The color of the new Millennium was purple. I saw that everywhere and I read about it everywhere. So I'm going to start using some purple eyeshadows and white. White was a really big color. The frosted eye in the corners. I'll start with some frosty white. I hope you guys could see this. And also right under here, you would see it. So a lot of frost in the corners. I'll probably add more in a second, but yeah, you would put your white right there. Smoky eyes were big in the Millennium, so I'm just going to use some purpley dark brown color. It has a little bit of frost in it. And just add that on the ends. There wasn't a lot of creasing yet. There was still a lot of blending. I'm going to use a little bit of this purple right in the center. So a lot of blending of color. We don't really have that creasy, like that cut crease, that very strong crease yet. That's to come. So yeah, that looks good. I think that looks pretty accurate. I do want to add, I'm going to add some dark to my lash line here. Skinny brush, so I have more control. So I'm just creating a smoky look. All right. Liner. Liner was on the top and bottom. What we see more of is liner on the interior part of the eye. And also on the upper interior. Okay. So I try to do this really fast for you guys to see this. All right, so I got a dot over here. I felt that too. So upper lid, bottom lid, a quick trick that you could do is just squint tight and you'll get that up on top. All right, a lot of mascara. You know, I was looking for lashes again. I didn't see that many women wearing them, but I'm sure they start to emerge then. I definitely, like I said, I've been using them in TV for a really long time. since I got into professional television in the 90s. So I was using individual lashes. I used a lot of individuals and strip lashes in the 2000s as well. So I didn't personally wear lashes back then, only if I was going to a special event, but it wasn't a daily thing. I was wearing, though, a lot of mascara. I love mascara. I think I've been wearing a lot of mascara, yeah, since the early 90s for sure. All right, so a lot of mascara. And the lip I have today is frosted. So we see a lot of white eyeshadow, glowy skin, purples in the eyeshadow. Purple is like the color. And frosted colors with the lip and a lot of gloss. We see major lip gloss. Gloss to the point where it almost looks so drippy. So I'm going to use a ton. I don't want to say a lot again. I keep saying it. Tons of lip gloss. This is just like a nice light pink lip gloss. But it was very heavily applied with the heavy hands. You just kept layering it, or you bought some MAC lip gloss, which was almost like a watery Vaseline, very liquidy Vaseline type. Well, there you have it, guys. The look of the new millennium. Welcome to the 2000s. I hope you enjoyed today's video and learned a lot and made you, maybe you started thinking about yesteryears. And more importantly, if you're watching these videos, pick out what you like from each time period. Or maybe there was a decade that you didn't care for at all. You really can't find anything within that decade that calls to you. But revisit the videos if you haven't watched them and see what you like, or go on the internet and do some research of different time periods and find what you like in each one and create your own style. That's the most important thing. And I think that's what we're going to start to see from 2010, because that's the next decade, until 2020, where we as women and men, but women especially, start focusing on ourselves and start thinking about, what do I really like in fashion and makeup and hair? And I'm going to design myself. I'm going to create myself based on what I like and not necessarily what someone else is telling me to do. And that is true freedom. When you make your own decisions and you don't listen to the noise, and the voice in your head is louder than the voice outside, for sure. All right, guys, have a great day. I love you so much. Namaste. Oh, guess what? It's Valentine's weekend. Yay. So I'm off tomorrow. I'll see you back on Monday for 2010 up to 2020, which will be so much fun because that really takes us into the now. And we'll talk about what's in, not only what was in fashion in the last 10 years, or, well, yeah, the last 10 years, and then what is new for us this year as well. So that will be a lot of fun to talk about makeup and hair of today as well. Well, you guys have a great day. Go and design yourself. Be your own fashion designer, your own makeup artist, your own hairstylist, and have a great time with yourself. Love you all. See you on Monday. And happy Valentine's Day.